Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Freaky Friday to all you freaks out there. Hope your day and your week are going very well so far. Got a new day, which of course means a new NBA player prop video to share with you guys. But first, as always, people, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. Helps the channel grow, and it really does mean a ton to us. With a new day comes a new opportunity to go ahead and make some money. We got obviously our Freaky Friday, our first Freaky Friday parlay of the season. 5-leg parlay plus 567 odds. If you guys don't know what Freaky Friday is, if you didn't watch my videos last season, what we do every Friday here on the NBA Player Prop video series, we do our Freaky Friday parlay. Usually it's 5 legs, 6 legs. The point is we go a little big game hunting here with these parlays. The minimum odds we look for is plus 500 or higher. Typically, we lean a little bit higher, but being the first Freaky Friday parlay of the year, we're going to play a little on the safer side, plus 567. Still very good value here. Really solid 5-leg parlay. But first, guys, before we dive into today's 5-leg parlay, quick little recap of how we did last night. And we had a really solid performance last night, guys. 7 player props handed out. We went 5-2. We went up 1.61 units. Couple of close misses on those rebound props with Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert, but overall, a really solid night. Hit that plus money De'Aaron Fox play, over 5.5 assists as well. So overall, really solid Thursday night performance. Again, 5-2. We're now 15-11. Overall, this year, we're up 1.44 units in the first week of the NBA season. Not too bad. Let's see if we can't keep that positive momentum going into today's parlay. We hit 5 picks yesterday. All we got to do is hit 5 picks here today. I think we can go ahead and do it. And guys, every Freaky Friday parlay for the NBA season, a little bit different than last year, I'll be doing a giveaway for the parlays. All you got to do is comment Freaky down below in the comments. And if today's parlay hits, one lucky commenter will be selected with a free $25 Amazon gift card. It's that simple, guys. If the parlay hits, you guys win some money and you win a free Amazon gift card, potentially one lucky commenter. So make sure to go ahead and comment Freaky down below. Guys, no more time to waste. Let's jump right into today's parlay. Jumping right into the outlier screen, guys. We're using DraftKings, by the way, for today's parlay. We'll go back and forth. Maybe some days we'll use FanDuel. Some days we'll use DraftKings. But for today's parlay, we're using DraftKings to go ahead and build this bad boy. Our first leg of our 5-leg parlay, we're targeting the Hornets-Hawks game, 7:30 p.m. tip-off tonight. We're going LaMelo Ball over 7.5 assists. And just a heads up, guys, we'll be using a couple alternate lines in this parlay. Nothing wrong with that. I know some people really despise the alternate lines, but if you want to hit a parlay, sometimes those alternate lines are really good to go ahead and throw in there. So, LaMelo Ball over 7.5 assists. We're getting this for minus 175 on DraftKings. A little bit better odds somewhere else. Actually, you could bet this straight up on FanDuel if you wanted to at minus 145. A little juiced, but not too shabby. So far this year, one game played, obviously, against the Houston Rockets opening night. Had a pretty good performance, 11 assists in that 110-105 win for Charlotte. And overall last year, pretty solid numbers for LaMelo Ball. 55% hit rate. He only played 22 games last year. It was a very short year for him due to injury. But in those 22 games that he did play, a 55% hit rate, an average of 8 assists per game last season. And again, due to the fact that he didn't play much, we don't have a ton of head-to-head data last year. But in the one time that he did face off with Atlanta last season, he had 10 assists back in October. Actually, pretty much literally a year ago today, he had 10 assists and was a 116-110 win for Charlotte. And we got a pretty solid matchup on our hands here as well. You see overall last year, Atlanta, they were bottom 5 in the NBA in assists allowed, 28.2 assists per game versus point guards, bottom 3 in the NBA, one of the worst teams in terms of allowing assists to opposing point guards. Point guards had an average of 9.2 assists per game going up against the Atlanta Hawks defense. Next up, guys, our second leg of our 5-leg parlay. We're going to target the Knicks-Pacers game, 7:30 p.m. tip-off. There's just something about the Knicks-Pacers, that rivalry going back to the 90s. Just something fun when these two teams get together. We're going Josh Hart here over 7.5 rebounds. Again, this is an alternate line. Getting it from minus 220 on DraftKings, minus 160 on FanDuel. Now, you guys might be asking, why aren't I using FanDuel here when they have some better odds already? It's the fact that not all the legs in today's parlay were available on FanDuel. So that's the only reason why. If you do want to tail the parlay and not tail all 5 legs, obviously these odds are all available. Most of them are available on FanDuel for pretty decent odds. But we are riding with DraftKings here still. DraftKings, although the odds may not be the best today, they did give us a pretty decent variety in our props. So Josh Hart here over 7.5 rebounds. The head-to-head data is really what stole me in this one. 9 of his last 10 games against the Indiana Pacers, including the playoffs, obviously. He has cashed his over, averaging 10.8 rebounds per game against Indiana last year. The only time he failed was on May 12th in one of those playoff games against the Pacers, excuse me. He had 3 rebounds in that game. But overall, really good numbers for Josh Hart in the rebound category against this Pacers team. And overall last year, pretty good numbers for Josh Hart as well. 59% hit rate overall last year. 55 out of 94 games he cashed the over, averaging 8.78 rebounds per game last season for the Knicks. So pretty solid numbers there overall. The Pacers, not a fantastic matchup, but decent. Again, they're 15th in the NBA last year in rebounds allowed, 43.4 rebounds per game. About a middle-of-the-road team in terms of rebounds allowed. But again, the head-to-head data looks pretty damn solid. 90% hit rate, 9 out of 10. Pretty good sample size there, too, to say the least. Played the Pacers a lot last year, had a lot of success. I mean, 18 rebound games, so pretty big performances there for Josh Hart. So far this year, just one game played. He only had 4 rebounds versus Boston, but to be fair, the Celtics literally could not miss in that season opener. They were hitting every shot they fired up, so not a lot of rebound chances there for Josh Hart. He literally had 4 rebound chances and got all 4 rebounds, so he also only played 24.5 minutes. The game was a blowout, so he got benched pretty early in that one. I don't think we're going to see the same result here against the Pacers. Love Josh Hart here over 7.5 rebounds. Next up, guys, the third leg of our 5-leg parlay. We're moving on to the Bulls-Bucks game, 8 p.m. tip-off. We're going Josh Giddey of the Chicago Bulls over 17.5 points plus rebounds. From this point on, guys, the final 3 legs, none of these legs are available on FanDuel, so that's kind of why I told you guys I didn't go with FanDuel. Literally only 2 of the 5 legs, the first 2, were available on FanDuel. The rest of these are all alternate lines, only available on DraftKings. All right, so Josh Giddey, and again, FanDuel has a couple close ones, so if you do want to tail it, I mean, you can go ahead and just adjust it by a point or 2. You know, for example, I mean, over 19.5, which obviously the data is not as fantastic. Actually, that's not on FanDuel either. Go to 14.5. Yeah, FanDuel just doesn't support Josh Giddey. I get it. I get it. They're still not over all the drama from last year, I guess. But we are. We're going to go ride with Josh Giddey here. Over 17.5 points plus rebounds. So far this year, 100% hit rate, only 1 game played, of course. He had 14 points and 5 rebounds against the Pelicans in the season opener. So pretty good numbers there for Josh Giddey. Obviously, he's going to get a lot of minutes on this Bulls team. He played 30 minutes in the first game. He's going to play a big role in this Bulls team. And the head-to-head data now, obviously this last year with the Oklahoma City Thunder, but last season, the one time he faced off with the Milwaukee Bucks, he had a pretty good game. 19 points and 9 rebounds in that matchup against Milwaukee. Pretty solid performance there for Josh Giddey. And we're going to go ahead and, if this my computer will cooperate here. He played 28.7 minutes in that game. The key thing for Josh Giddey, and obviously one of the big problems last year, was that throughout the year, his minutes and his role within the Thunder kind of was up and down. It was a roller coaster season for him. A lot of drama, obviously, off the court, like I kind of talked about earlier. But this is a little data range I put in. So this is minutes played last season between 27 and 33 minutes per game last year. I think it's probably the range of minutes he'll probably play for Chicago most this year, between 27 and 33 minutes per game. And last year, in that data range, a 67% hit rate on this over. He played 27 games within this minute range. We had a 22.33 average in those games with the Thunder last year. Really solid numbers. Besides that little cold streak early in the year, throughout the year, really good numbers there for Josh Giddey. Again, the one time he faced off with Milwaukee last year, with this data range being present, he did cash the over. And so far, 2024, again, season opener, he met this minute range. So when he plays minutes, he puts up numbers, and the matchups is pretty solid. Milwaukee last year was bottom 10 in points allowed, bottom half of the league in rebounds allowed, versus shooting guards in particular, bottom 5 in both points and rebounds allowed to that position. So a really good spot, really good matchup here for Josh Giddey. All right, guys, 2 legs left in today's parlay, but real quick, I want to shout out Outlier, today's sponsor. Everything you're seeing so far in this video is through Outlier. It's the best sports betting tool on the market. They're the sponsor of today's video. They're the sponsor of a ton of videos here on the Guy Boston Sports YouTube channel. They're a fantastic tool. And as you can see, I'm only giving you guys a little bit of insight here, but from what you see, it's a lot of data to go through. It's very helpful. It makes you make a lot of smart sports betting choices. It gives you a lot of insight that you probably wouldn't realize if you didn't look into it. And to find this stuff without Outlier, it's a lot of digging, a lot of research, a lot of jumping between websites. Outlier makes it so much easier. You just go to one place, one easy, convenient place where it consolidates all the data, all the information that you need to make smart sports betting choices all in one place. And they're giving you guys a special offer. Use the link down below in the description. Get a 7-day free trial to check Outlier out for yourself. Try 7 days risk-free, no money cost. Try it for yourself. If you don't like it, cancel, no cost at all. But if you like it after that, just $19.99 a month. Again, if you're making smart sports betting choices, you're hitting your bets thanks to Outlier, it should probably just go ahead and pay for itself. Special thank you to Outlier for sponsoring today's video. Make sure to go check that link down below. 7-day free trial when you use the link in the description. Our 4th leg in today's 5-leg parlay, we're looking at the Suns-Lakers game, 10 p.m. tip-off. We're going Tyus Jones here over 13.5 points plus assists. Again, another alternate line here, minus 220 exclusive to DraftKings. Tyus Jones is a really good fit. I think this is a really good addition for the Suns. They needed a point guard very badly last season. They get one, a really underrated one in Tyus Jones. In their season opener against the Clippers, he did cash this over 11 points and 8 assists. He's going to cover this mostly in assists, I would go ahead and say. But he will contribute a few points, enough points to at least cash the over here. Overall last year, a 74% hit rate for Tyus Jones. 49 out of 66 games last year, cashed the over, averaging 19.32 points per game, points plus assists per game, last season in Washington. And the head-to-head data last year when he faced off with the LA Lakers, as a member of the Wizards, he had 11 assists and 8 points. So again, he'll carry this mostly in assists, but he'll score just enough points to get us that over. Tyus Jones played 35 minutes in the season opener against the Clippers. Almost drew a blank there on the team. 35 minutes with Clippers. This is the data range that showed last year with Washington when he played between 30 and 35 minutes. And it's probably the fair range he'll stick with Phoenix here. He's obviously their starting point guard. He's very important for this offense's success. As long as his data range, 30 to 35 minutes per game last year, 92% hit rate, 22 out of 24 games last year where he fell in this minute range. He cashed the over, averaging 22.67 points plus assists per game. Even if we're going to knock this down a little bit, this is now 28 to 35 minutes, so taking a little bit more time, expanding the range a little bit more, but showing you guys when he plays even up to 28 minutes, 90% hit rate, 27 out of 30 games, still a 22.27 average. Really good numbers. As long as he plays big minutes, he's going to go ahead and cash this over. In the fifth and final leg for tonight's parlay, guys, we got Pelicans, Blazers, 10 p.m. tip-off. We got Jeremy Grant of the Blazers over 17.5 points plus assists. Again, minus 240 exclusive to DraftKings. The numbers last year, really good for Jeremy Grant on this line. 76% hit rate last year on this over. 41 out of 54 games last year for Portland with an average of 23.78 points plus assists per game. Really good numbers there for Jeremy Grant last season on this line total. Obviously, it is an alternate line, which kind of explains why the numbers are so good. So far this year, one game played, he did cash the over versus Golden State, and it was a blowout performance. He had 16 points and 2 assists in that, 3 assists, in that one. 16 points and 3 assists. And the head-to-head data, he played against the New Orleans Pelicans once last year back in February. He had 24 points and 4 assists in that matchup. So pretty solid matchup there for Jeremy Grant. And just looking at the data range last season, Jeremy Grant played a lot of minutes last year for Portland. Look at the data range here. Look at the minutes. You can't even go back this far. There's nothing there. Typically, he played in this range of about 20, let's say 27. We'll go down to 35 minutes. That's, I think, a pretty good range. 20 to 35 is probably the range he's going to play in. And in that range, 64% hit rate last year, 9 out of 14 games, an average of 20.07 points plus assists per game. Again, you go and expand a little bit. He played a lot of minutes last year. Just going, as long as he plays at least 28 minutes, 28 obviously to 46 minutes, 86% hit rate last year, 36 out of 42 games, 26.31 points plus assists per game. He's going to play in that data range, I'm sure, unless he gets in foul trouble or injuries, of course, always can negate that. But he should play at least 28 minutes here. And the data obviously looks really good. And the matchup is pretty solid as well. He kind of slots as a small forward / power forward, and although the defensive matchup on paper doesn't look great, overall the Pelicans, pretty solid defensive team, but the head-to-head data, he had a really good game last year versus New Orleans. I'm not too worried about the defensive matchup here. I think Jeremy Grant will still eat regardless. So again, guys, those are all 5 legs in today's parlay. Just a quick little recap here. We got Josh Hart over 7.5 rebounds. Josh Giddey over 17.5 points plus rebounds. LaMelo Ball over 7.5 assists. Tyus Jones over 13.5 points plus assists. And Jeremy Grant over 17.5 points plus assists. You parlay all of those together on DraftKings, all 5 legs. You get parlay plus 563. Those are the live odds here, plus 563. The link for this page will be in the description. I'll obviously put the picks in the pinned comment as well. But all you got to do is you click the link in the description, you click this one, add to bet slip, continue in browser, and then it'll go ahead and it plugs it in for yourself. So it's very easy if you want to go ahead and tail it that way. If you want to plug the picks in yourself, whatever you guys prefer. But that is it for me today, guys. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. One more time, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. Make sure to comment freaky if you're tailing. Again, one lucky commenter, if the parlay hits, will receive a free $25 Amazon gift card. We'll be back tomorrow with another NBA player prop video. But until then, guys, hope you're all winners. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy the start of the weekend.